Hello students, I am VLN Swarupini, lecturer in biochemistry from Sri Venkateswara College of Arts and Sciences, which is affiliated to Adhika Vinaya University, Rajahmundry. Now I would like to discuss about third BSc, sixth semester biochemistry elective paper, that is basic microbiology. From this paper we are discussing topics from the fourth unit and we'll see about ultrastructure of a algal cell. Now let's start the topic, ultrastructure of a algal cell. So, algal cell always contain a cell wall of two layers, which contains a outer amorphous layer of pectin substance and an inner fibrous cellulose layer. So, outer is membrane is made up of pectin substance and mostly inner membrane is made up of filamentous cellulose layer. So here it again depends on the type of algal cell. The substances which are utilized in the cell wall development will be different. So if you take Xanthophyta group, the cell wall is made up of pectin substances, and if you have taken Phaeophyceae group, the outer cellular membrane is made up of hemicellulose, alginic acid, fucoidan and fusin, and diatoms cell wall is made up of silica and pectin. And if you take blue-green algae, its cell wall is made up of mucopolymeric compounds. And coming to next important cell organelle that is seen in the algal cell is flagella. So flagella is very important for the motility of the aquatic algal cell. So mostly aquatic groups contain this flagella, and here except Rhodophyceae and Cyanophyceae, remaining all groups of this algae contain this flagella, and this flagella is important for the motility. Okay, so mostly the motile vegetative and reproductive cells, so whatever the motile vegetative cells and motile reproductive cells are there, these contain flagella, and uh, except Rhodophyceae and Cyanophyceae, remaining all groups will contain this flagellae. So these flagella, what we can call this flagella as, how we can define this flagella means, it is structure utilized for motility, and this motility is due to the small filiform protoplasmic appendage called flagella. And here number of flagella present in algae depends on the species. That means 1 to 4 flagellae may present in algae. And if you see examples here, Oregonium and Archaea are the best examples for the algae groups which contain these flagella. And here, by presence of mastagoniums, we can distinguish this algae into two groups, acronematic and pleuronematic. So acronematic is also called as whiplash, and this acronematic flagellae is the flagellae which is having a smooth surface and doesn't contain any mastagoniums. And if you take pleuronematic flagellae, which we can also call it as still cell, and this pleuronematic flagellae contains a small hair-like mastagoniums or phlegmas. Okay, so here acronematic flagellae, the flagella have a smooth surface and abruptly terminates in a fibril. And if you take pleuronematic flagellae, this pleuronematic flagellae, the surface of this flagella is covered with fine filamentous appendages called mastagoniums or phlegmas. And by the arrangement of phlegmas, we can again divide this pleuronematic flagella into three types: pentonematic, pentachronematic and stichonematic. So pentonematic flagellate contains this mastagoniums on either side of the, that means on both sides of the flagellum we can see the presence of mastagoniums, and that kind of flagella is called as pentonematic flagellae. And the next type of flagellae is stichonematic. In this stichonematic flagellae, mastagoniums are present only one side of the flagellum. Okay, and pentachronematic doesn't contain these on both sides of the flagella, a small fibril is present at, present at the terminal of the flagella. Okay, so here again we can uh, see different types of flagella on a single algae. So here these algae contain 1 to 4 flagella, and based on this, if algae contains similar kind of flagella, we call it as isonaut, and best example for isonaut is Chlorophyceae group. And if algae contains dissimilar flagellae, that means if the algae group contains two different types of flagellae, we can call it as heteronaut, and best examples are Eophyceae and Xanthophyceae. And next important cell organelle is mitochondria. So this mitochondria is also a double-layered structure, and here a well-organized mitochondria is present in all groups of algae except blue-green algae. So this blue-green algae, it prepares its own food material uh, as a autotroph. Okay, so by utilizing the sunlight, this blue green algae produce the starch, and this is a specialty of this blue green algae, in which we cannot see well organized mitochondria, and remaining all algae groups contain well organized mitochondria. Okay, so mitochondria is surrounded by a double membrane envelope, and the envelope will be folded. It forms foldings by which a special structure called cristae will be formed in the mitochondria. Okay, so if you see the mitochondria, that will be like this. So this infoldings will be formed like this. So this is the cristae. So this is the cristae. So this is the cristae. Okay, so infoldings are called as cristae, and here number of mitochondria and size of the mitochondria varies from algae to algae again. And we all know the function of algae is respiration. So this mitochondria is helpful in the respiration of the algae group. Okay, next one is Golgi bodies, and these are present in all algal cells except in the blue green algae. Okay, and these are composed of 2 to 20 lamellae, or we can also call these lamellae as cisternae. So these are arranged in the form of stacks. So in this manner, so I think this diagram is, so in this manner these will be formed into stacks, and each file of stacks is called as dictyosome. So this is completely called as dictyosome. So these are associated with the formation of cell wall. Okay, and next important cell organelle is vacuole. So these vacuoles are especially important for the osmotic balance in the algae groups. And if you take this vacuoles, these are again two types. We can find two types of vacuoles in algae, in different algae groups. And what are they? Simple or contractile vacuoles and the complex vacuole. So here the simple and contractile vacuole is nothing but it is a single vacuole, and it undergoes contraction and relaxation, and during which this contraction process, waste material or osmotic regulation is maintained by the algal cell. And coming to complex vacuoles, these are group of vacuoles. Okay. So simple vacuoles, they show periodic contraction and expansion and helpful in the uh, removing of waste products from the cell. And coming to the complex vacuoles, these are this complex vacuoles, they consist of a tube-like cytopharynx, and this cytopharynx is a large reservoir of group of vacuoles. Okay, and in groups like Euglenoophyceae and Gynophyceae, complex vacuoles are present. So in remaining all groups, we can simply see the simple vacuoles. And next important organelle is endoplasmic reticulum. So the cytoplasm contains this interconnecting tube-like structure called endoplasmic reticulum. And next important organelle is nucleus. So if you see about this nucleus, almost all algal except Cyanophyceae have a well organized eukaryotic nucleus. That means only the Cyanophyceae group doesn't have this well organized eukaryotic nucleus. Remaining all algal groups contains well organized eukaryotic nucleus, and most of the algae cells are uninucleate. That means they contain only single nucleus. That's why we call it as uninucleate. But few groups will contain multinucleate or they are in cenocytic form, like Cyphinales, Cladophorales, Carales, and heteros heterocycnales, carels, cladophorales, and Cyphinales. So these are the groups in which we can see multinucleated form and cenocytic form of this nucleus. And the chromosomes which are present in the nucleus, these are small, numerous, and these may range from 5 to 48. So chromosomes which are present in the nucleus may be small, numerous, that means in large number, and this number may vary from 5 to 48. And the large division of nucleus may or may not be accompanied by wall formation. Okay, and the next one is pigments. We have three important pigments. These pigments are basically important for the color of the algae. So this, due to the presence of these algae, these pigments, algae's color, whatever the characteristic color of the algae will be determined. So here not only single pigment, sometimes in algae pigments are present in combinations. Okay, so we have many pigments in nature, but coming to algae group, we have three important pigments: carotenoids, chlorophyll, and phycobilins. So this chlorophyll, if you take in algae group, we can see five types of chlorophylls: chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, chlorophyll C, chlorophyll D, and chlorophyll E. And here chlorophyll A is commonly seen in all algae group, and chlorophyll B is seen in mostly Chlorophyceae group, and chlorophyll C is seen in Phaeophyceae group, and chlorophyll D is seen in some red algae. Chlorophyll E is seen in Xanthophyceae members. And here, if you see this chlorophyll, what is the major role of chlorophyll? It is helpful in the autotrophic activity of the algae. Autotrophic activity means, so these algal cells which are capable of undergoing autotrophism, they utilize the sunlight and prepare starch by the process called photosynthesis, and for this photosynthesis process this chlorophyll is very essential. And here this chlorophyll pigment, if you see, it is in green color. So due to the presence of chlorophyll, the algal cell containing this chlorophyll cell will show green color. Okay, and the next one is carotenoids. So this color development by carotenoids is yellowish orange. Okay, yellowish orange. So here carotenoids means these are the pigment categories in which we see keratins and xanthophylls. These two are collectively called as carotenoids. Okay, so these are accessory pigments. Here, these pigments are helpful in the absorption of blue and green lights from the sunlight or the light source. Okay, so here if you see about xanthophylls, there are 20 types of xanthophylls, and here in xanthophyll group, this fucoxanthin is a important xanthophyll which is commonly seen in algae. So if you take diatoms and Phaeophyceae group, fucoxanthin is mostly common xanthophyll present in the these groups, and also mixoxanthin is a common xanthophyll present in the Cyanophyceae group. And the next one is carotenoids. So these carotenoids are alpha forms, beta carotenoids, alpha carotenoids, C carotenoids, and C carotenoids are present. So if you take these carotenoids, these are orange color pigments. Okay, and there are 5 types of carotenoids. Alpha carotene, which is commonly seen in Chlorophyceae and Rhodophyceae. Beta carotene, it is present in all algal groups, and there is an exception called Cryptophyceae group. That means here in Cryptophyceae group we cannot find this beta carotene. Next one is C carotene. So this is present in Chlorophyceae group. And E carotene. E carotene is present in Basilarophyceae and Cyanophyceae. And additionally, flavocin is also a carotene related compound, and this is present in Cyanophyceae group. And the next one is phycobilins. Next one is phycobilins, and this phycobilins, these are water soluble pigments. These are water soluble pigments, and let's see examples for this phycobilins. Red phycoerythrin is a phycobilin which is present in Rhodophyceae group, and blue phycocyanin is uh, phycobilin which is seen in Cyanophyceae group. The next important organelle is plastids. So these plastids are well defined plastids present in almost all groups of algae except in Cyanophyceae group. Okay, except in Cyanophyceae group. And here plastids with chlorophyll A and B are called as chloroplast. So if a plastid contains chlorophyll A and B, we can term it as chloroplast. And if that plastid contains chlorophyll B only, we call it as chromatophore. So by presence of chlorophyll A and B, plastid is termed as chloroplast, and plastid with only chlorophyll B is termed as chromatophore. Okay, so uh, in these algal cell we can see one or more plastids or chromatophores in the algal cell. And the next important algae cell organelle is pyronoids. So these pyronoids are proteinaceous bodies. These are found in the plastids or on the surface of the plastid. So these pyronoids, these are commonly present on the surface of the plastid or inside the plastid, and these store protein compounds. Okay, so these are associated with the storage of starch. So starch is stored in algal groups in pyronoids, and these pyronoids are present inside the plastid or on the surface of the plastid. And next important organelle is eye spot. So these are also kind of pigmented spots. Okay, these motile cells of algae, they contain a pigmented spot known as eye spot or stigma. And these eye spots, if it is an orange red streak like light sensitive photosensitive organ, and it may be located on either side, that means on anterior or posterior or at the middle part of the algal cell. So based on the position of this uh, stigma or eye spot, five types of eye spots are recognized. Okay, so new stigma arise either by de novo process, that means by a new biosynthesis or by dividing from already existing stigma. Okay, next one is storage products. Chlorophyceae stores food in the form of starch, and Synophyceae stores Synophycean starch, and Rhodophyceae stores Floridian starch. And if you take Bacillariophyceae, Xanthophyceae, and Chrysophyceae, leucosin is a storage product, and Phaeophyceae it contains mannitol and laminarian. So here if you see the diagram, flagellum is seen. So this is the flagellum, and this flagellum is of many types in algae group. What are they? Pleuronematic and acronematic. So whiplash and tinsel. Whiplash means it doesn't contain any mastogoniums or phlegmas, and the surface is very smooth in this kind of flagellae. So if you see the flagella present here, it is a whiplash. There are no mastogoniums or phlegmas on the flagella. Okay, and it contains a contractile vacuole. Okay, a contractile vacuole is present, and it is a basal body of the flagellum. And the next important organelle is mitochondria, in which you can clearly see the cristae. So this is responsible for the respiration uh, in this particular algal cell. And the next one is eye spot. So this eye spot is a pigment like structure. And next one is chloroplast. Chloroplast means plastid with chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. And next one is endoplasmic reticulum. So this endoplasmic reticulum, if you see the structure here, it is in close, we can see the endoplasmic reticulum in the close association with nucleus. It is in close association with nucleus and nucleus, in which it contains nucleolus, and the chromosomes are present on it. And next, cell surface membrane is present, and next, Golgi apparatus. So here stacks are present if you see the structure. Okay, next, thylakoids are present, cell wall is present, and starch grains. So here starch grains are present, and if you see the structure, this is a pyronoid. This is the pyronoid in which we can see the starch grains. Okay, so this is how ultrastructure of algal cells will be present. This is the ultrastructure of chlamydomonas. Ultrastructure of ultrastructure of chlamydomonas. So this is the topic about ultrastructure of algae, and by this we can complete our fourth unit. Okay students, thank you.